currently have 66 cents. Ranked professional. And I'm currently ranked 188th in the professional league. It goes beginner, amateur, expert, elite, professional, veteran, all-star, master, challenger, champion, world class, and legendary. This website's called Poker Hit. But I don't like that. They recently changed it so you could get a booster for your crowns. Right here where the 227 is. So I believe let's see, so to get instantly promoted, I need to turn my 288 or whatever it was into 6,000 pounds, which is hard to do. How many hours are left? So 60 hours left. So it's going to be hard for me to maintain in the professional league. Every league, the higher the league is, the harder it is to maintain professional. This is the second week in a row that I've been in the professional league. The other 2 times I was professional, I got demoted. So my moniker's the most feared player. I played 23,702 hands, and I win 73% of the time, or 73 cents per hand that I win, and my winning percentage is 27.72. I'm just gonna see some here. Pull up the calculator. So what exactly was it? 27.72. So out of the 23,702 hands, I've won 6,570 hands. And then I win an average of 73 cents. So times 0.73. So far on this site, I've earned $4,796.24. But it's rigged. So I've only cashed out $100. I went through a period where I won maybe 12 or 15 flips out of 50. It was brutal. Okay, so now time to play. On all websites, I lose the majority of them. So I try to avoid it if possible. If you're playing in the game where you can get away with jamming with pocket aces every time you get pocket aces, where you're going to get called every time, you're a guaranteed favorite. So whenever you're a favorite, you want to try to put the most money in the pot that you can. So if you flop a flush or turn a flush, if you bet start jamming. So I would have been. He tried trapping me and I got there. Always feels nice when you get lucky. I don't get lucky that often because my skill level now, the better you are at reading a bad situation, the less likely you are to get lucky, because you smell smoke, so you don't need to get burnt by the fire. So you're like, okay, well, this guy's indicating, or this girl's indicating whatever, and so you could avoid it. Sometimes, not all the time, you could be making a move on you. So sometimes you, even if you always call in a certain situation, sometimes you need to fold. Unless you have a royal flush. And most likely a straight flush. But if there's a 4-card straight flush on the board, where now any player just needs 1 card for the nut, would be the king of clubs or whatever it would be. But if there's a potential for the king of clubs, and then whatever would be the 9 of clubs, and you have the 9 of clubs, most of the time the correct answer is to call. But sometimes it's to fold. Because if he has the king, which is very likely if you only need 1 card, then you're going to lose a lot. You're probably going to lose all your whatever you have at the table. So if you're in a tournament, you're almost guaranteed going to get busted, because odds of them having it are remote. But when they do have it, you're gonna, pretty much every player, unless you're a perfect player, is gonna lose. If it happened consistently, like, you'd be able to, because every once in a while, when you have the nut flush and he's high flush, you're gonna lose to a full house. I don't know the exact time, a certain amount of the time. So usually when you do, your confidence is peaked because you have the nut flush. So you're trying to maximize how much chips go into the pot, or at least you should be. And then in the full house situation, like, maybe you got rivered with the full house. But every once in a while, I don't know how often it is, but there's certain haymakers you run into and you almost always lose. Sometimes they tip their hand just by their betting pattern. If it changes, good luck me, I'm probably going to lose. So since I got pretty lucky so far, I'm just going to hedge my bet now and join a new table with less money so I could grow my bankroll. Ideally, as much as I can. Probably in an hour-long video, turning 66 cents to maybe $15 would be pretty good. $40 would be even better, because then once you have more than $40, $50, the $1, $2 blind table opens up for you. So then you could sometimes easily turn $40 into a couple $100 within say a couple hours. Even less. Sometimes it could be within 5 minutes. get pocket aces and you get your $40 all in flop. Get called by a couple players. Next thing you know, you got $160, and then maybe get lucky a few hands later, and then double up, so your 160 turns into 320. And at that point, I would, especially online, it's different if you're at the casino. There's a magic number. You don't really know what it is until hindsight, but it's like, okay, well, if I would have left at 800. So it's at the casino, know when to leave, so you don't end up losing, because you're always risking it all after a while, unless you have everybody covered. If you're at the $300 table and you now have $1,250, it's advantageous for you to stay as long as possible until, say, you start downward. So in that scenario, in your mind, you'd be like, okay, well, now, so if I fall below 1,000, then I'm gonna walk away. So you turn your $300 into $1,000. So it's pretty good for a day's work. But if you're trading up, once, especially online, right? I haven't done it at the casino experience. Which I don't know to go to the casino often. But there'd be times where I would try to turn it into a couple $100, say $300, and if I did that within the first 5 hands, I'd walk away for the day. That would be good enough. And then there's times where, depending on my bankroll, so if I had $2,000 at the $300 table, I'd pretty much stay there till it closes, and then I might end up with $1,600 at the end of the night. I might end up with $4,000. Because when you have an edge over somebody, you want to play with them as long as possible to give you a chance. So luck isn't as big of a factor. And the smaller number of people you play against, the easier it is to learn about them. Like on this side, it's a maximum of 5, so you got to play a lot looser than you would a 9-handed table, or at least you should, because if you're waiting around for pocket aces or ace king, then so really I want to play with this guy as long as possible, because the more heads-up experience you get, the better you are. If you make it into a tournament heads-up, you're going to have that experience, that edge over and especially if it's somebody like, if I'm at the casino and we're playing heads-up and I play with this guy regularly, I'm going to want to play with him heads up as long as possible, because people typically play the same way. So instead of waiting 1 in 20 hands to see how they play a scenario. Now they're playing it, say, 1 in 6 hands. So you gotta learn how much faster. Ooh, do I call it? I'm not lucky enough to call it. So I don't normally choose my draws. There's only a 3 high flush. He's playing pretty aggressive, so Ace-6 isn't a good hand. And I'm probably the favorite, but I'm going to lose this hand. But if I would have been dealt a strong hand there, I probably would have folded it, because the odds of winning 3 hands in a row are slim. Legitimately. It's different if you earn a couple of those pots, but if just to naturally be unlucky for a hand to hold up 3 times in a row is slim. I don't know what the percentage is, but so let's see what he does. I'm hoping to break this guy's will. I'm hoping to outplay him so he gets to the point where he quits. Just like that. Pretty much poker is the only thing I want to dominate at, because there's money in it and there's a luck factor. It'd be different if I knew I was going to win all the time. It wouldn't be as fun. But it's challenging. It's a life, like, takes minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. So, and there's always new game theory that comes along. So the league. They're pretty clever too, because when you watch lots of poker videos, it's hard to watch current information. So it's usually a couple years old. So you could see how somebody plays a few years ago. So they make some of their games going to be the same, but if they grew as a player, then it's going to be different. Check there, but nobody bet. I'm gonna call, even though I never get lucky with 8-7. But if there's 3 or 4 players in a hand, suited connectors, if you have a suited connector, your odds are pretty good. If I was alone and that guy was in heads up, I would try to bluff the other 2 out if I thought I had a strong hand, but so poker, sometimes you gotta try to create your own opportunities. least I do. I like to play a lot of hands to be less predictable. I'm gonna call. I had the gut shot and the overcard, so I had 7 outs. And I didn't really believe him. So it turned out great. So is he gonna make the same play? Well, he didn't jam, so I'm likely ahead. Poker is I was making that decision based on information from the turn. So the best case scenario would have been if I reacted after that. But since that time you had position and my gut was telling me that the queen was good on the turn based on that it didn't jam that time. So he got lucky and he rivered me. So I post these videos hoping to get sponsorships and endorsements and donations. You could email me at christianerikarnemeyer@gmail.com. So I don't always jam theirs. Usually when you have a top pair, especially a low top pair, every once in a while somebody has a pocket pair that's higher than you and has you crushed. Usually it's when you have, it would have been in that scenario, would have been if I had the 9 and the ace of whatever. So if you have the top pair, every once in a while, you lose 2 overs, so you can't be too confident. Can't be too confident. If you watch some of my videos on this site, usually I go in as the favorite and I lose often, so I know it's right. If you watch every single video, every hour-long video, you're going to see how majority of the time I'm outplaying my opponents, chipping up, and end up losing big pots where I came from behind and beat me. Whether I go in all faces, pre-flop, top set on the flop, nut flush draw, or nut flush on the turn. It's usually cataclysmic, because I play so many hands now that I've been burnt so many times that you learn. Oh, I thought we were heads up. That's not good. Because I didn't believe the original razor. But I think the player on the left will. That's one way that I consistently burn myself, is because I'm getting to be pretty good players. So my read on player A is right, but then player C has the win in hand. In case they have the flush draw, I don't want to make it cheap. I don't always jam there. It was how the cards, how everybody was playing, how I felt about the hand. My position. Another reason why I post these videos is to raise the bar for me, because I'm kind of revealing my techniques. Eventually, the goal is to make $1 million, and then on how I did it by watching all these videos and the insights that I have. They have position over me. If they have if I had them covered, I would have kept them honest by calling, but it was likely that they had the straight bait set in that hand. Or two pair or set. They could have bluffed as well. Oh, they in a way, it's kind of good that that they left, because they're the only opponent at the table that was playing back. And they had a position over me, so it's a harder scenario to play. So ideally, you want to be playing as many hard scenarios as you can at the lower stakes, so then by the time you get to the higher stakes when you face them all the time, you're better equipped to survive. See, right now, you would have to look up the Roman numerals, but there's two experts here, and then me as the professional. So to grow as a player, I'd rather be playing against people that are in a higher league than me. And sometimes when they had position over me, and kind of want to find, it's like you're in a boat and you got water in your boat, so your goal is to and there's water always coming in because the game's growing, so you got to plug the holes in the boat so you stay afloat. So you want to try to figure out weaknesses in your game, and you do that by playing against better opponents. Weaker opponents, some moves always work on them. This is a collision. I was gonna play the King 9-2. I had a feeling I was gonna win, but it wasn't worth the risk because it's a dog hand. Any king, queen hand gets you in a lot of trouble. Ace king is the best non-pair hand, but get you in a lot of trouble. You have to develop it. It's not a made hand, so. So it's less likely that they have the ace, so. He might. He might. And I didn't improve. So I was right. Z had the ace. He had position on me, so I couldn't get that information. Call. So I had the net flush, so the ideal scenario is to get all your chips in on the flop if the hand calls for it. So sometimes it's jamming, sometimes it's raising, and then they re-raise, then you jam or re-raise until it all gets in. But usually when I flop a flush, I lose to a full house on the river. So it's that delicate balance because they're behind. You have the nuts, so you want to try to maximize your profit for that hand. So sometimes you go all in, and other times, depending on the size of the pot, it's like whatever you figure they're gonna call. Sometimes they fail if you jam all in. But sometimes if you bet a little bit, they end up jamming, making a move on you, and you're just hoping they do, and you make the call. Like that guy did in the previous hand. I was hoping somebody jammed on in, and he did. Sometimes the backfires on you, and you end up losing in this game. What I love about this site is how they have the poker leagues, and they give you free money to play, and the better you are, right? They shows up every once in a while, but they give me $1 a day, but on a good day they might make $50 off that dollar, so it's profitable for them to do it. But they have leagues, and you have to maintain your ranking in the league or improve, so it makes it so you don't get complacent.
Can't beat that. $2 for a big muffin like that. Instead of $3 and something to change at big bucks.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Oh, that's fucking... Hey. Brand new.
So Z's back with position on me again. So he's a level 3 and I'm a level 5. So that means I should have an advantage over him over the long run. He may get the better of me in the short run, but in the sprint he will, or he could. But in a marathon, I should do better than him.
And the same thing with somebody that's in a higher league. The longer, especially if you don't grow as a player, like some people play the same way all the time and they become really predictable. Like, I don't notice it so much when I'm playing five-handed, but when I'm playing two-handed with some opponents, it's like whatever they do, I know they can't damage me. They can only damage me as much as I allow them to, because they don't make that many moves or just how they play. So Z only raises 9% of the time. And the odds are 1 in 20, so he doesn't raise that often. So he probably, not always has it, but probably almost always has it when he bets. So I'm just going to sit back and see his hand. But I'm leaning right now on Z winning the hand. Hopefully we get to see the cards. So it's unfortunate we didn't get to see the cards there. But now I know player on the right, he likes to see the river. And he's willing to fold on the river. So I'm going to try to use that to my advantage. So that means I'm probably not going to make a move. I'm going to feel him out. But he likely will call the river, so... Does he have the jack? I wasn't quite sure. Most of the time I would have called. But whenever somebody's calling and then all of a sudden they're betting or leading, so depending on your hand, go from there. But sometimes it's like, okay, I'm gonna pull the parachute because I don't have very many outs. Or if it's on the river, there's no more cards. I thought my 10 was beat, that's why I raised them. So depending on the player, I don't know him well enough, but maybe if I would have made a stronger move on the flop, checked on the turn, bluffed on the river, or check raised them all in, went all in on the river, maybe he would have put me on an 8 and folded. So in an ideal scenario is I'd be able to know who that person is and then wait till that same situation happens again and then know how they're gonna react or play and then adjust accordingly. On this site, when you first join, I think they give you $1, and go pretty good. I think I played several thousand hands off the first dollar. I played a lot of hands anyway. Because I know all poker sites are rigged because the first several thousand hands I do phenomenal, and then my winning percentage goes down if they show it. Like on this site here, Poker Hit, after 8,000 hands, my winning percentage was 32%. And even though every 1,000 hands I play, I'm a better player. I'm hoping he has the spade flush hawk and he calls. Hoping for a bad call. Only one, because if there's multiple players, then I'm almost certainly going to lose. It's always suspicious when somebody checks and then calls all in like we did. I'm gonna go to a new table because if they check and call an all in, you almost always lose. Sometimes they're fish, but especially the higher the stakes, if you're playing at a higher stakes game, the guy almost certainly has you. He trapped you. He's for you to make that play. Me. That I talked about that exact scenario earlier on, where when you have a middle top pair and then there's an overpair. So that time I was on the right side of it. Other times I won't be. You always want to pay attention to the person on the left the most. Everybody, the people on the right that will have position over you too. Because they're likely to make plays on your blinds, the people on the right. But the player on your left always has position over you, except for one hand at a, in this case, one hand at a 4. So my instinct is kind of I raised, but ace-8 isn't a good hand enough to call a $2 raise. Best case scenario is you're in a flip. Sometimes you're the favorite, most of the times you're the dog. So even though I would have won that pot, I'm happy with my decision. Whenever you're playing at a table, since I'm not in this hand, I want to try to figure out how they play. Because they might try to use that move against me and I'm better equipped to respond against it. So I'm trying to gauge how aggressive they are, how they bet their big hands. See it. The more they do something, the more suspicious it should be. If it's random, every once in a while, chances are they got lucky. But the more it is, the more. Probably would have folded that hand because he made it 56 cents, which wasn't typical for his betting pattern. But if he's making that move on me all the time, then you gotta draw the line in the sand sometimes with high card. Well, I think I'm behind, but I might river them, so I'm calling. Most of the time I fold there, but I figured I was due for an ace-king win. now I'm kind of forced to make a play, and he probably has the, or she probably has the queen. Play would have been avoided if I had position over them, but that time they had position over me, so. It's the thing about, it's almost like skiing. At first you're on the bunny hill, then you go to the main hill, and then you go to the most challenging hills. So in poker, at first you play pretty straight and narrow, pretty safe. But then the better you get, the more confident you are in marginal situations, that sometimes you get burned. So I watched a few ads and tried out that professional wheel. Oh, and I got 2 here, so I might as well. Okay, so I didn't get lucky that time. So far I'm 45% towards $53. So they may have given me a couple bucks to achieve that. So they're making money off me quite a bit. But it's not a casino, so times when I turn my 60 cents into 10 bucks, you don't walk away. It's kind of in the there, so you don't cash out. Like you do at the casino. But ever since I cashed out on this site, I've been trending downwards over the last 14,000 hands. Just getting extremely unlucky. Most of the time. Sometimes, problems. By playing. I'm gonna play in this video or next time I so I could see the blind. Not see the blind. See one more hand now. Video. Hopefully I and I don't. So hopefully you liked my video. Thanks for watching. If you want to sponsor me, endorse me, or make a donation, that's awesome. My PayPal email address is christianerikarnemeyer@gmail.com.
And if you Google search computer assisted telepathy YouTube and watch this video, basically they're able to influence a yes/no decision remotely using computers. We're made up of water. Water conducts electricity, so therefore we could be hacked. You could take action by going to www.change.org/technology. Sign the petition, share it on social media, and contribute a few bucks to get it on the agenda in your country so a government task force could be set up with civilian and military oversight. Because the government does this to people, so they need to be held accountable. But criminals are able to puppeteer government officials and influence policy. Human free will doesn't exist right now. It's being manipulated by very few individuals. Anyways, hopefully you at least sign the petition. If you don't want to share it, that's fine. But it's, since you're aware of it now, you're one of the few people. Right now, there's 286 signatures and started over a year ago. So ideally, every human on Earth is aware of this technology so we could privatize our thoughts, more or less. There needs to be software companies that are able to privatize our thoughts. Because our biology makes us vulnerable. Like if my theory is based on this patent, and if you could see by the cell phone and the antenna, it's very old. But basically this patent, there's biosensors that could be implanted into a person, and you're able to record medical data remotely over the cell phone and so over the internet. So nowadays with nanotechnology and artificial intelligence, it's wireless, and you don't even realize it's in your body. They're able to manufacture disease. So it's reality's is terrible. Like almost all public figures are corrupt. So we need good people to join police forces, become spies, become military, politicians, nurses, doctors, teachers, and change the system from within. So good people aren't being violated by relatively few individuals. Because people are able to electronically rape me and other people this way. So every time I go to the washroom, males and females are able to feel my penis because my hand's on my penis. So I'm being violated this way, and so are other people. And most people don't know that. So I need to raise awareness. So since you now heard it, you almost have an obligation morally to, because if I'm right, then you did something good, and if I'm wrong, then it's at least not as bad. But all my theories backed by science, and there's videos on here that so anonymous official confirms my beliefs. So it's like me saying, okay, the wheel exists, and then somebody else is saying, yeah, the wheel exists. So check out these videos and make an informed decision. The truth hurts. It sucks, but you could deny reality, but you can't deny the consequences of denying that reality. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day.